am Harbinger. I'm here at the principal place of
Adamant Gaming,
and we are here to continue our previous chat. Now, again, this is a continuation of one we just uploaded on YouTube on
Adamant Gaming V,
which of course stands for 5 for our Metal Gear. Now, we're going to see Adamant, because I'm Harbinger, we're going to see Adamant continue his little thing here. Now, Adamant, what are you going to do next? Now, let's remember, if you want to see anything at all, anything in specific, anything in particular, just let us know. Now, Adamant, what are you doing here?
I'm about to do some combat challenges from Arkham Knight to continue the combat talk and to have something to watch. Comic talk while we play the combat, so it's all DC related, but
at all discussions that you would like to see us tackle head on, you can let us know. Me and Ed, what with it all being pregnancy, girlfriends.
just leave a comment, bitch.
Just leave a comment, bitch. Now, Adamant, what kind of a discussion we're gonna talk?
I don't want to say opinions on Batman. I mean, that just makes my throat sour, because everybody has the same opinion about Batman, let's face it.
That's enough harping on Batman. Let's see you tackle on something else. Like Roz or the Joker.
Bruce, you don't understand.
I don't care about that understanding. I'm Batman.
If I wanted it, you'd be dead already.
God damn it, don't you think I know that? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we might have Batman as a special announcer. I'm not sticking around. I'm out of here. Well, I guess Batman angrily just left. He just took out on the... Yeah, there it goes. Batmobile just drove off. Now then, we have all kinds of special guests around. Like, I'm still here, guys. Just let me know what you want to hear from me. Rick, Sages, and... I'll let you know, bitch. Alright, and Rick's here to shed some light on some stuff. Now, we're joined by all kinds of array of characters here tonight, you know?
I'm gonna play a combat challenge already.
Oh, is that Kermit the Frog? Yeah, I'm here too. Give me a suggestion, motherfuckers. What are you laughing at, bitch? Just play the fucking combat challenge and everything will go fine.
How's Miss Piggy doing?
Ah, fuck that bitch. I sliced her up with a knife and fork.
You only took your pork with a knife and fork?
Exactly. She wanted to have sex, and I was like, I'm not into bestiality.
You're a frog, asshole.
Yeah, and I want to fuck other frogs too. That was an imitation of me imitating somebody. Exactly. What the fuck is that for a laugh? How about Ray Romano? Deborah, I think your soup tasted like shit and I don't need a year's shit for it. After 23 years, I've given up. Maybe you should think of not being a bitch.
Oh my god. Oh, that fucking...
That's right, people. We have imitations.
Oh, no way. Oh.
Yeah, I know. Morgan Freeman here. I think this guy's fucking it up.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna do good. Oh man, that's really hilarious. Fucking Harbinger.
If anybody can get me a job being a voice actor, I'm set. No, just kidding. No, I would love being a voice actor, you know, honestly. It's stressful on the throat, but I can do it. I definitely need to hear this shit later. Like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we mostly do these things not being so sober.
Yeah, but...
So, I mean, it's beer balls, you know? If any of you know beer balls out there, you probably one day will.
Like, for example, why you keep fucking up on this challenge when it's the easiest one?
Exactly. I mean, okay, so we
restart and that's it. It's because I'm Christian Bale suit. That's why.
Hey, fuck you. You pass that over and I'll nail this shit. Okay, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, we do highly recommend for all of you underage to wait until you're 21 to actually consume any alcohol. As for the rest of you who are 18 and now able to smoke cigarettes, enjoy. Not too much because it does cause cancer. And...
waste your fucking money.
Exactly. But as far as you will know, me and Adamant actually waited until we were 18 to consume both. So we didn't wait the legal age for alcohol, but we did wait the legal age for cigarettes.
Well, honestly, I can't say I did. I mean, I smoked my first cigarette when I was 17. But, yeah. 18 should be the, proper age here. Now, alcohol, I think I had my first shot of vodka when I was like 16 or some shit. Which is not good. I mean, alcohol's fun, but not when it starts to take shit over. Now listen, it's okay to love to drink. It's alright. But just remember, you see how me and Harbinger are fucking up in this combat challenge, the most simplest one that I could earn a beast-ass high score on. See how we're both fucking up so simply. Anybody who drinks knows how this is. A certain level, you'd be like, you think you're doing good, but you're not. Like that.
Just yeah, I know. I don't need a fucking reminder on this shit.
No, I'm just reminding both of us, even me, because I could have passed this challenge.
Mother!
Yeah. Tell you what, exit out of it, actually.
No. This is Christian Bale's Batman, okay?
Yeah.
I need to nail this shit.
Excuse me. There you go. You're doing it. Something about Arkham Knight makes us try too hard, you know what I mean? Arkham City or Asylum, we would have fucking nailed it. Don't forget about that. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Okay. Alright, Marco Bale. There you go.
Whoa, beat that motherfucker!
Alright, pass it over then. Now I'm passing the mic over to Harbinger.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, of course I couldn't disappoint Christian Bale. I'm pretty sure all of you got some crazy-ass high scores out there, but you can see...
I haven't beaten mine.
Yeah, you can see I am Darth Harbinger there in 4th place. Adamant now is in 2nd place, one of his friends.
And look at this one here.
Of course, he is talking about a certain person who I will not acknowledge. But as far...
It's awesome, isn't it?
It is amazing. But as far as it goes, on number 1, his friend has actually got some...
Sonic, yeah.
He's got some pretty high up statistics. We gotta acknowledge that. What do you think about this, Rick? I think that you're all wasting your time. I think you should be working on science. Well, that's great, Rick. What about you, Kermit? I think I need some petals to sit on the pond. Well, that's also pretty great. Now, what are you gonna be doing next, Mr. Adamant?
Same challenge, but with a different skin, specifically this one.
Oh, we can all guess that your favorite is 2016's Batfleck. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with 2016's Batfleck.
Actually, my favorite is a Dark Knight Returns skin, even though I don't like that whole animated film. But the skin looks great, and Batfleck's suit looks even better.
You know what? I'm gonna add on to that. I definitely think that 2016's Batfleck is actually definitely an improvement over the Dark Knight Returns costume. I think it's definitely the one seen come to life. I definitely do, and you know, I definitely think it's great. I definitely think that Ben Affleck's Batman, although so many people were hesitant, it's definitely the Batman we have deserved and have been dying to see for the past, I really don't even know how many years, maybe even since Michael Keaton's era. Because I know so many diehard people are a fan of his versus Christian Bale's. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts versus Christian Bale versus Ben Affleck's Batman. Well, I will not disown Christian Bale as Batman. Okay, because it's not the fact that he is the best Batman. It's the fact that he set a new tone for a new generation.
You know what, and I'm quite grateful you said that, because it definitely set a tone for me. It had its own meaning for me.
This is our generation of Michael Keaton, man. That's what it is. Ben Affleck is no Val Kilmer or George Clooney, because Ben Affleck's an amazing actor, and the only blame to have with that movie that he was in right now is Zack Snyder. Okay, it's not Ben Affleck. Okay, him killing Ben Affleck did not decide that. Zack Snyder did, and David S. Goyer, that faggot-ass writer, did.
Now, hang on. David S. Goyer was actually... Well, I'm not sure about this, but we got a new guy who's now ahead of the DCEU. And he's absolutely nowhere to blame.
I gotta pause this real fast, because you know what? Zack Snyder's a director, sure. But you know who wrote it? David S. Goyer and some other guy I never heard of.
You know, and what's funny about that is because definitely David S. Goyer was actually kind of the co-writers for the Dark Knight trilogy. So it's kind of interesting to see him go from one thing to the next. One thing that's so widely approved to something that actually isn't. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I like the fact that they're showing Batman killing, because that's a side in the comics that people ignore. Okay?
Well, it's a brave side in the comics, you know? It's like... And these things are kind of written out of continuity. Like, as far as the Flashpoint Paradox, those things stay in the continuity. Okay, well, because it's a different Batman.
Well, what about when the Batman has a mental break after he kills the Joker?
What are we talking here? Enlighten me.
There was a comic after The Killing Joke where he had a mental break and he crossed that line about 3 or 4 times.
Because, again, it's these kinds... Ladies and gentlemen, you should also know this. These kinds of things are written out of continuity. Yes, Batman has killed in the past before.
They're only written out because DC are dick suckers for Batman.
Yeah, but like
they can't make him a flawed human like a real human would be.
No, and I understand you. It would add so much personality and characteristics, but these are the kinds of things that are written out of continuity, ladies and gentlemen. These are the things that are left out. When you look at the New 52, when you look at Rebirth, these are the kinds of things that aren't acknowledged and aren't embraced because they have been removed. Batman doesn't kill. It'd be a giant hypocritical standpoint to have these things left in the continuity and know that he takes pride in not killing anybody. It'd be super hypocritical. Now, Adamant, I'm going to let you go on and on about your points here. I want to give you the ground here completely.
So, what about a standpoint where, let's say, Batman's a real human, like you, like me. There's going to be a point where you kill, whether purpose accident, or collateral damage. It's going to happen because nobody's perfect like Batman, okay? Nobody is. The fact that Superman killed before Batman shows you how human Superman is before this egotistical, traumatized maniac is. I'm sorry. I love Batman. He's awesome, but I also hate him because he sets the bar for how perfect people are supposed to be when they're never going to. Now, I'm not saying everyone's gonna kill someone in their life, but you know what? When it comes down to it, if you have a sibling or a mother or someone you care about and someone is threatening their life with a fucking knife or some kind, you're gonna take action or you're gonna be a coward and let it happen because you don't want to kill. You're not Batman. You don't have all these impossible gadgets. The impossible intelligence, by the way. The overrated physique. You don't have any of that. What are you gonna do? Someone's on top of someone you love trying to kill him. You gonna stand there and say, oh well, Oracle, gotta use detective mode. No, you're not. You're gonna pick up the nearest thing by you, slam it on top of their head, or you're gonna fucking cut their throat, okay? That's how it is in real life, not what Batman depicts. It's bullshit. I'm just saying. It's just disappointing when Superman seems a little bit more human than Batman. And I'm not talking about relatable. Clark Kent's relatable, but not Superman.
And you know what, there? You actually won me over with that argument. You're right. It's, hell, fuck, it's a crazy-ass thing. You know, it's,
I'm just trying to make a point here.
You know, yo, you're right. And that was the thing that, like, okay, listen. I don't like Man of Steel. Because there was 1,000 people who died. And it had to come down to 4 special people for Superman to finally take some decisive action.
Well, can I just say something about that film? I'm not defending the film, but I'm just explaining, in my point of view, what they were trying to do here. I think it took him that long to realize why he was fighting Zod. You know, he's like, you know what? All this destruction. By the way, oh, excuse me, my phone's ringing. House phone's ringing. That's weird.
Let me just harp on this, ladies and gentlemen. Adamant will get back to his main point in just a smidge. My point is, it did have to come down to this special 4 little people with Superman. Superman would have done this kind of thing much quicker. I know that results in a much shorter movie and a movie where Superman's like killing Zod much earlier on. But that's my point, is Superman would have said, hey, guess what? You're not going to do this. You're not. And Superman would have given him the ultimatum, said, hey, guess what? Either stop what you're doing, or it's over. It's not going to come down to this thousands of death in one god-awful scene. Because if we can be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the DCEU is the kind of thing that's giving me superhero fatigue. I love Suicide Squad. But I know that movie is crap. Okay? And I get why you all defend it. I get why you all love it. Fuck, I fucking love it for those reasons too. I love the dynamic that the Joker has with Harley Quinn because it reminds me of my wife. That's right. Yours truly, Harbinger, is taken. But I love it because, you know, me and my beautiful missus, we saw that movie together as a bit of a wedding day celebration. Her idea, not mine. You know, crazy. She went dressed in as Harley. She had her hair done the same. She had her makeup done the same. She had the shirt that I had bought her. There was Harley's that said Daddy's Little Monster. And, you know, it was great. It was truly amazing. and seeing that with her. And I had lots of fun with it. But here's my problems with the film. You have a bunch of guys who can operate with guns, and then you decide to bring such a wacko like Harley into the mix? Why? You have a bunch of guys who can operate guns efficiently. Why in the fuck do you need Harley? To that extent, you don't need the Joker in that film either. You don't. I'm sorry, but that's the fucking honest-to-God truth. If you don't need Harley, you don't need Joker. If you watch Assault on Arkham, it explains that they need Harley because she knows the ins and outs of that whole place, which is Arkham Asylum, where she was a doctor and a patient at. Making plenty of sense. And Joker's in that because he has a dirty bomb. And he's going to unleash it on the town of Gotham. So to all of this extent, I thought, that's why you need Batman, that's why you need Joker, and that's why you need Harley. But then when you see Suicide Squad, none of these points are touched. Which means you don't need any of these characters. Like Batman, I'll let you slide. He captured Deadshot, he probably captured half of the people who are in this movie. So it explains why they're in this movie. And then that doesn't really pan out so well. So explaining the end credits. We all know why there's going to be a Justice League. The trailers have confirmed it. The end of Batman v Superman confirmed it. We don't need this final Easter egg at the end of Suicide Squad at all either. We all know this thing's happening. Justice League. Duh. Adamant, tell me something.
What's up?
Did you see Suicide Squad?
Still no.
Okay, this is a man who's left out of the current DCEU situation.
I mean, after Batman versus Superman, do you blame me? Like,
No, honest to God, no. I know as well as you know as well as I do that I was honestly hoping to go into BVS liking it because I'm a guy who never liked Man of Steel. I had my problems with Man of Steel walking into that film. Oh, by the way, did you hear that this man is not scheduled to direct Man of Steel 2? Now, you think Zack Snyder, the guy who directed the first Man of Steel, should be a shoo-in to direct the sequel to Man of Steel.
they don't want him.
And yet he's not in the rest, as far as we know. He is not in the rest of the DCEU. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I'm happy they're taking a big step with, what's his name? Geoff Johns? And Ben Affleck as an executive producer. Because you guys know he's going to ask for Kevin Smith's opinion. Which, you know what? I don't give him a lot of credibility. But it's a hell of a lot more than Zack Snyder's. Yes, he has the amazing imagery, which is beautiful. He's a beautiful cinematic director. Like, this guy could do probably a good Resident Evil movie than Paul W.S. Anderson. He follows more continuity than that asshole. You know? Or maybe even, like, cinematic direction for a Metal Gear Solid movie. But with something as huge as a DC universe, no, it's just, I feel like it's too much for him. Because, like, Harbinger once told me, just because it's source material doesn't mean it's good source material. But when there's those franchises or things out there that have a general source material that has a lot of depth, but not a lot of depth people care about, you will do amazing, you know?
And you know, like, right there, talking about Kevin Smith, kind of a bit of an idol for me, because it's a guy who went out on his own and stood on his own 2 feet. You know, kind of what we're trying to do with this page. Kevin Smith is still kind of one of the kings of comic book lore. There's a few out there. You know, Kevin Smith is not the only one. That's not the only man to stand on his own there. But Kevin Smith actually gave Ben Affleck one of his breaks.
Yeah,
you know,
hunting.
Good.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Kevin Smith was there to help him out.
Yeah, and it's not only that, but you know, he did like Dogma, and he did a couple of other things that actually helped propel Ben Affleck's career. And you know, it's pretty great knowing what Kevin Smith did and is kind of doing with his daughter. I heavily admire all of that kind of stuff. You know,
Fun fact: did you guys know his daughter's name was Harley?
Yeah, his daughter's name is Harley Quinn. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Harley Quinn Smith.
Harley Quinn Smith. But let's move on from that. Again, I admire the fact that this man went on his own,
It's tobacco.
did his own kind of thing. And to this day, he's going to actually do this film called Yoga Hosers. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I highly recommend going and checking this movie out. It's got Johnny Depp in it. It's got Johnny Depp's kid in it. It's got Kevin Smith. It's got Kevin Smith's kid in it. I highly recommend going out and doing this thing. Moving on. Now, Ben Affleck. And I'm not sure how this is doing, but I was part of this page called, oh, fuck, I don't even remember what the fuck it's called, but it was basically like I hate you, Ben Affleck, for being Batman, or the next Batman. Realistically, that was just me being pissed off about us having to move on from Christian Bale, realistically. Because I saw Batman v Superman, and I was actually kind of torn apart having to move on from Ben Affleck. But, especially so, but I saw the opening to Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, when he was running into that destruction. Because I've had so many ideas for comic books, and that was actually one of the things that was in my mind, was this man running into this danger, running into this 9/11 type disaster, and him having not necessarily the bravest face, but him having definitely the bravest heart. Him saying, this isn't right, this is my goddamn city, these are damn people we're talking about. And him running into this kind of a thing and saying, I'm gonna fucking save people, this disaster is fucking nothing, I'm going in there, goddammit, and I'm helping all these goddamn people out. These are human beings, for God's sakes. And that's the thing about Ben Affleck that won me over. It's just like,
it makes him very, very, very relatable.
Exactly. It was just a man who was driving into this disaster, running into this cloud of desperation and disaster and hopelessness, and saying, I'm that light in the goddamn darkness.
No batsuit.
No batsuit.
No fucking batsuit against gods.
Exactly. And like Kevin Smith, he said he had to watch this thing twice, and he finally saw the silver lining. But you know what? I saw this thing once, and I saw that, and that was my silver lining. You know, and I'm the guy, again, proud Batman hater, and I'm a fan of the Dark Knight trilogy, I'm a fan of the Arkham trilogy, maybe even 6ology if you want to count the Origins stuff. I'm a fan of it, and I still hate Batman, but that Ben Affleck interpretation was one of the things that got me. It was Ben Affleck did a beautiful job right from the gate, in my opinion, with that. Because, you know, to that degree, I understood what Zack Snyder was doing. Everything else, not really much of a fan.
No, well, I understood the Batman aspect. He should have did the first Batman film, not the Man of Steel, because he ruined Superman. You know what? In my opinion, Zack Snyder has a hard-on for Jesus Christ.
And let me shed some light on what he means, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to think he just hates for the sake of hating. when you see all the Messiah complexes that Zack Snyder has incorporated into a couple of his films, Man of Steel, Watchmen, where he just kind of like, we have Dr. Manhattan, and he stands above everyone. We have Superman, and he stands above everyone. That to me isn't what Superman's about, and I'm pretty sure to other people, it's not what Superman is about.
No, it's not. It definitely fucking isn't. Like, Superman doesn't stand like he's better than everybody else. He stands with them, not above them.
Exactly, and it's hard to really not think that way, especially when you had all that scene, which I also thought about this years ago, and that isn't to try to steal from... This isn't to try to steal from Zack Snyder, but I actually had this idea years ago, and this is why I think I should write some shit for Hollywood, or for comics. It's like, I had this years ago. You can't have Superman stand above a bunch of people who are flooding in their homes, in their houses. You think about Katrina and all these poor people. It's like you had Superman doing this thing where he's coming down and saving these people, but he's like kind of standing over them and just watching them. You can't have this. Like Superman would have been like, "Oh my God, let me get you the fuck out of here." And it's really cool that Zack Snyder kind of touched on these things, but it wouldn't be this. It wouldn't be this at all. And as a little kid, I saw all these events, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys did too, where people were standing in their houses on the roofs asking for help in Katrina and all these tsunami situations, asking for help. And you're like, man, if I could be down there with these superpowers helping these people out, I so would. And that's just the kind of thing that it comes back down to with the DCEU. It's just like Zack Snyder has such a hard-on for such a Jesus complex. But enough about this. How much of a relatable character do you honestly find Batman, and why? Now, in recent comic book history, in fact still going on, Dick Grayson has actually, Nightwing, a series called Better Than Batman. It's not actually called that, but his recent issues titles are that. Better Than Batman. Because Batman has taught Dick Grayson apparently wrong. He's taught Dick Grayson to intimidate villains and fight villains in a way that's so Batman-esque that it's not Dick Grayson. It's Batman. And this character has told Dick Grayson, said, hey, this isn't you, right? This isn't how you would handle bad guys. And Dick Grayson's like, no, I'd probably handle them a bit differently. And honestly, the way that he'd handle him is probably better than Batman's. And that's actually, and again, that's what the series is called. Better Than Batman. So far, it's gonna run in 4 titles before it gets to Monsters and Men kind of territory. And in this Monsters and Men kind of a story, it actually goes back to Batman #1, where Hugo Strange made this formula that's turning humans into monsters. So that's what this 6-series issue is actually going to cover, is Monsters and Men. And we're going to see people being turned into monsters from this formula all the way from the 1940s, which is pretty cool. I'm going to pass you to Adamant, because unlike me, and this isn't to criticize Adamant, but unlike me, Adamant is kind of a common spectator like the rest of you guys. Should Adamant here be getting into comic books, let Adamant tell you about the pros and cons about collecting comic books, because I, Harbinger, collect Nightwing issues on the regular. I even collect his Earth separate counterparts. I'm starting to collect Earth 2 Society, and I'm going to go back to Convergence, and I'm going to go back to Earth 2 fuck, what is it called? Something with world in it. But I'm going to collect all those here. I'm too drunk to actually remember the titles. But here is from a common person. Why Adamant won't collect comic books at this juncture, and why you might consider or not consider collecting comic books is all up to him. Ladies and gentlemen, Adamant.
Well, on that note, first of all, collect as much comics as you can if you love them. Find a way, do it. Tells a story, you're gonna learn something from it or have some sort of inspiration. I don't collect comic books. It's not that I'm not into them. I've read quite a few actually, but I enjoy just having the general knowledge. And I feel like where I'm at right now, I don't have such a biased outlook on certain characters. Because like I said, I don't hate Batman, but I could see what he is as a human being. You know, Superman, same thing. It's like, I don't know everything about him, but I know what he's about. I could explain it to someone. And your opinion may be different. But, I mean, the truth is, in my opinion, of what Superman is supposed to stand for, that's real hope. That's what he's supposed to stand for. He may be a superhuman being, but the way he was raised, how he's been on Earth for as long as he has been, that's someone who really does care about the human race more than actual humans. Believe it or not, they're so intrigued with their shitty fucking job and how much they hate it. You know, we have vigilantes like Batman and Nightwing who, in their own way, they try to make their city better, but Superman goes beyond that. I mean, he goes beyond Metropolis, in my opinion. He goes Earth. He's protecting his planet. Just like Green Lantern protecting his sector in space, you know. I like things that go beyond just simple crime. I mean, it's like the Injustice story. Even if the Injustice story didn't happen, if Superman really wanted to, Joker'd be dead, and Batman'd be mad at him for doing it. You know, Joker's very intelligent, but, I mean, let's face it, Green Lantern, again, would slaughter him. You know, Nightwing.
Simulation complete.
It all boils down to, like, I want to do this, I have the chance to kill the Joker, and then it goes into Batman saying, no, don't do that, no. It's like, stop being a pussy.
You know, and okay, see, and this is my thing about Nightwing. He's my favorite superhero of all time. And the thing about Nightwing is he's a lot like Batman, only he's much more human. Nightwing's the kind of guy who keeps up with old relationships, new relationships, you know, and he's great that way, you know, everybody loves him. Unlike Batman, who's this cold, careless fucking thing who just doesn't give a shit if he keeps up with anybody. But Nightwing keeps up with everybody. He does his best to keep up in the best terms, you know. And for all of you who don't know, there was a small little city in Superman's Fortress of Solitude, I believe, called Kandor, which was a small surviving city of Krypton that he kept in his lab.
In that small jar or something, right?
Yes, absolutely, and that's what I'm... So, a long time ago, him and Jimmy Olsen got sucked into, and this is the originalist version of this that you can find. Him and Jimmy Olsen got sucked into this world, and Jimmy Olsen also developed powers from being in that world. So, Superman decided to go by a different name, called Nightwing. And Jimmy Olsen decided to go by a different name called Flamebird. And in this world, Jimmy Olsen and Flamebird were, no, Nightwing and Flamebird were basically the Batman and Robin to this universe. And eventually, Batman and Robin went in there and decided to help Batman, no, not Batman, Nightwing and Flamebird to protect it for a little while. And years later, when it was time to give up the identity of Robin, Robin remembered this. He remembered this and said, hey, Superman's always been like an older uncle to me. Why don't I just go by his kind of a thing from now on and go by the name of Nightwing? And that's exactly how Nightwing, the original version, got his name and identity for this kind of for him to have his own kind of identity, for him to be his own kind of a hero. And that's the thing that I've also always liked to come back about Nightwing. He stopped being the sidekick, he stopped letting himself be told around, and he started letting himself be his own hero. He started letting himself have his own identity. It was about him being a man. That's the thing that I like about Nightwing. It was about him being a man. Not about him being a sidekick, not about being told around by some other hero like the narcissist Batman. It was about him being his own kind of a hero. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what hero would you like to see us cover? We here at Adamant Gaming V are up for any suggestion. Now that V stands for 5, but you still type it in V when you try to subscribe to YouTube, which we highly recommend you do. We are up to any suggestion and idea that you are all about. Life, social skills, heroes, fictional characters, anime, Star Wars, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece. You name it, we'll cover it.
Anything you could think of. Anything we don't know of you could think of, we'll see what we could do to look it up. See what we think of it, and if we think it sucks, we'll tell you. But we'll always get something out of it, that's for sure.
We'll never just bash in the sake of bashing, ladies and gentlemen.
No way. Oh, we always try to keep an open mind.
And we'll bash with some education, not just saying, hey, it sucks because it's not so-and-so, and because we just plain old think it's stupid.
For example, I'm gonna buy Battlefield 1 when I get the chance to, when it comes out. I have not played the beta, but I'm gonna buy it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it up to Adamant, but we're gonna move on to some life topics.
Life topics. Okay.
Now, Adamant, we've been going on and on about these comics. What kind of challenges do you think is facing, or what do you think youth today is facing? What do you think is youth's biggest problems today? Do you think they take themselves too seriously? Not seriously enough? Do you think they listen too much to others? What do you think?
That's a serious question. Youth today, I feel, are very insecure because of the pop culture, because of what they see, the imagery of people looking better than them, better than they possibly ever could be. I believe that it's 50-50. Half of them don't think that they're worth shit. The other half think they are the shit. When those people, by the way, if you're watching this, if you're younger, you're a 2000s kid, and you think you're the shit, nah. 90s people will always kick your ass. I'm sorry. Born in 94, I'm 22 years old. You think you know better because of the generation you're raised in, but your generation is very ignorant, and that's gonna slow you down in life. You know, that's how I feel. You know, you got these kids out here and that live in a generation of pure fucking ignorance. It sucks. You know, people would rather, like, they'll hate you for who you are because they're so damn insecure. You know, you're a fucking target for the ignorant. It's ridiculous. Like, you people don't deserve that, man or woman, girl or guy. No, you gotta be yourself. You gotta make sure, no matter how confused you are right now, that what you're doing, what you believe in, may not stick your whole life, but just don't regret it. Don't do that YOLO shit. You only live once? No. Think about what you're doing.
That's thinking small, ladies and gentlemen.
YOLO, thinking small. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Do what you love. I don't recommend getting high or drunk at a young age. You have plenty of time when you're older to do that. It'll catch up fast with you too. So, you know, just ladies and gentlemen, just try to be smart. Try to keep people in your heart at all times, no matter what you're going through. You know, life is strange. It changes so fast, so quickly. Life is beautiful, but it's brutal too. I mean, honestly, I can't just sit here and say, just make sure you know what you're doing, because you're not going to be sure on a lot of things. There's just a flow you gotta follow. A flow you gotta follow, and you'll know if you're on the right path. You know you will. And your path will change. And you'll have to switch directions, so then your plans won't go the way you want them to, or is followed, but you gotta keep moving forward. You gotta keep doing the best you can. I just recommend watching the movie Good Will Hunting. That's the message I got from it, pretty much.
Now, Adamant, as far as it goes, we've talked personally, you and I, about this little thing called love. Now, all these, exactly. It's probably a little depressing for all of us. Coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And where I should be. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, it's not really a destination. It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey. It is. Now, Adamant, I'll give my 2 cents. And then I'll obviously pass the mic on, and you'll give your 2 cents. Now, in my opinion, I don't think you should waste a single beautiful moment of letting the ones that you truly have a thing for without letting them know that you have a thing for them. Explore every avenue, ladies and gentlemen. If you like somebody, fucking tell them. Explore it. Just explore it. Because there's nothing like looking back and saying, I fucking should've. Now, you might have a different opinion on this. Maybe you did seize every opportunity and you did explore it, and it was one of the worst decisions of your life. I'm a man who has found love, and I'm very, very grateful. But maybe there's some young people out there who are thinking, I should seize this love. Now, I say that life is too short not to. And God knows I have my great white buffalo, but I also have my wife. Everything that I'm truly grateful for. So now, Adamant, share some light on this. From the other side, from more of the people side. What is this like? I think you should both stop being such pussies and drink more.
I think so too. Anyway, I think it's better to regret. Well, it's a certain quote that if you haven't, I'm pretty sure most of you heard, but if you haven't, here it is. It goes like this. I would rather have regretted the things I didn't do than the things I did. You know, because at least you did it. You learn from it. It's an experience. And at that moment, you might feel the pinnacle shittiness or the fuck up. But no, overall, you'll learn. You're gonna learn from it. And in the end, it's gotta make you a better person.
The militia won't hold this city hostage.
Don't sit there on regrets, as in, oh, I should have did this, I fucked up. I'm empty now because I didn't do this or this, you know.
He won't get away this time.
Pretty much it goes like this. For most humans, specifically in my opinion, oh shit, why did I do this? I'm so stupid. Oh shit, why didn't I do this? I'm a coward. You know. Just don't let that phase you. Don't be afraid to express how you feel to people, whether they hate it or not. Because a real person that cares about you, whether it's a friend or a significant other,
I need to get it back on.
they could get mad at you, but in the end, they're gonna be there. And they will. They won't abandon you. And, well, if they do, they might for a while, because they're mad. But, like I said, in the
Fire
end...
will burn out of control unless I power up the fire suppression system.
In the end... anybody who cares about you will be there. That's what I have to say.
You need to switch it to a different Batmobile. Anyway, you're quite right. Anybody who truly cares would have come forward about it. Otherwise, they never really cared about you to begin with. And come forward to you, not come forward to a friend. Not come forward to a friend and say, hey, guess who's so-and-so do, or, you know, ask how so-and-so is doing. Go to so-and-so and ask them how they're doing. Ask them, say, hey, guess what? I'm curious because... and be truthful and be honest. Otherwise, they never really truly cared about you. And maybe even because you never really had the balls to ask them, hey, how are you doing?
Something you gotta bring up is the trust issues.
No,
Trust.
I don't really think we're talking about trust issues here. Like, say you're trying to meet a person. Say you're actually trying to talk to a person.
Yeah, but there's people out there that's like, how can I trust them? There's people that go out there so scared.
You know what, man? Because the one that I'm talking about is... and you're the one that I'm talking about. See, the fucked up thing about that is...
I'm trying to relate to...
no, but okay. But this is also relatable. The fucked up thing about it is... I went up and I said hi. I went up and I said, how's everything going? Didn't get shit. Well, I did get shit. But, you know, I didn't get shit back. I didn't get anything saying, hey, how are you? How are things going? I didn't get one of them back. I actually fucking tried, and I actually said fucking hi. You know? And that's the thing about that, ladies and gentlemen. If they don't say that hi back, at any point they don't say, hey, how are you doing? I guess they're no great white buffalo to you.
Nope. They're just ignorant. They don't
No,
have anything to do with you.
I guess that, ladies and gentlemen, you can say, and for the rest of you, you can confirm that they just don't feel that same way. Now, someday, ladies and gentlemen, some lady,
Adamant's going to grab another beer.
some guy or girl will come along out of the blue of all of this bullshit and tell you how they feel, how you feel about them, and will come up. And that's just truly how this most likely will happen. Somebody outside of this world of bullshit and chaos will come along, approach you most likely, and let you know how they feel. And that is a very special lady or guy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you nothing. In fact, I'm going to pass you over Adamant to segue into our next section. Tell me, Kermit, how do you feel about our host, Adamant?
Well, I think he could stop smoking. I'm frankly a frog and I'm dry all the time. I don't need a cigarette smoke in my face.
Oh, fuck you, Kermit.
Hey, fuck you too, buddy. You can kiss the greenest part of my ass. I'm hopping out of here.
Kermit, wait.
No, fuck you both. I'll see you next week.
Well, I guess there he goes. Adamant, Mike is yours for kicking our special guest out.
Rick's still here?
Well, you know what? Bye. But Morty, Adamant. I'm off to take a leak in the bushes.
Alright, guys, this is gonna come to a close very soon, but if you're watching this, thank you so much for watching this fucking stupidity. Please note that we're trying to be creative here, and you're watching an Arkham Knight screen for a while because we keep rambling. But, like Harbinger said, just ask us to play games, random games. We'll have some fun out of it somehow and try our best to relate. You know, if you do see this, thank you for watching the whole thing. And, well, what I want to know is, how do you guys feel about the real behind our talk, about us truly expressing ourselves and talking shit and, you know, just bullshitting on a broadcast? You know, we bullshit on the broadcast. We leave the blank ass main menu, which may keep you bored, but for us it's all about the conversation, what we talk about. It's half what we play and half about what we have to say.
And it's not also just about half of what we have to say, it's about half of your opinion. You know, again, you'd like to see us talk about anything, cover anything, suggest anything at all. You know, again, that page is Adamant Gaming B, where you can catch us on YouTube every Friday night, practically Saturday morning. But the entire thing should be based on what you want us to hear and talk about. So far, we've gotten no suggestions. So, again, just come around to asking us whatever the hell you want. Adamant Gaming B, please help us. We're trying to get this off the ground.
Well, like I said, we're about to end this right now, I'd say.
Well, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm going to place with more beer. Fuck you, bitches.
Well, you know what? I need more beer too, so.
And there goes Rick. I guess we can wrap this up without him. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll let Adamant here finish before I sound us off.
Again, anybody who watches, thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
And, hopefully we'll see you next Friday. And hopefully, one of these broadcasts, you'll see us sober. You might see Harbinger sober, but not me. Anyway, goodbye, and thank you very much. Here's Harbinger.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. We do appreciate all of it. I am Harbinger. I am here joined with my co-principal host,
Adamant.
This has been Adamant and Harbinger Talk. Leave a suggestion of whatever it is you want to see us tackle, play, talk about, whatsoever. We are experienced grown men. I am of the age 22. My principal co-host here, Adamant, is
22. I turned 22 in July.
I turned 23 in October. And we are so glad that you've joined us here. I'm sure we'll try to have other guest hosts and the Krabby Party Pooper, Kermit.
And Deborah.
Fuck you, Deborah.
Oh, fuck you both too. I'm out of here. Oh, come on.
Sit on the candle.
Don't go pissing off Ray Ramon.
No, fuck you both. I'm out of here.
Oh, well, hey.
Anyway, before we go, listen to this. Whatever you'd like to see us drink, put that up there too.
Oh, yeah. That's also not that much to forget, because today, what are we drinking? What did we drink tonight?
Oh, Budweiser. Ugh.
Oh, God, Budweiser, yeah. If there's anything you would like to see us drink, hear us get drunker and do the more stupider things, let us know. We are not above destroying our own livers for your entertainment. But, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you are all beautiful. You are all loved. And if not, you are all loved here. And we will tell you, you're beautiful. You are handsome. You are smart above all things. You are fully capable of dreaming these dreams and achieving them. And remember, you can ask the universe for all these dreams. And you are all more than capable of going out there and achieving these dreams. No dream is without reach, ladies and gentlemen. No dream. So here at Adamant and Harbinger Talk, you can reach these dreams. We love you. Thank you. And good night.
Remember to bend her over a barrel and show her the 50 states. Goodbye.
Yes, 50 states, good night and goodbye.